Welcome to another brief edition of the State of MLB The Show 25 Stadium Creator. I have not been here. It has been a while since I have been on. I am still trying to work with George Steinbrenner Field when I get time. I haven't had time. I have been doing various projects and things such as this, so um, I have a lot of things to cover. A lot of things to talk about in a brief amount of time because next Friday I won't be here. I will be at work um, in person. So I'll probably do one on Thursday or Wednesday or whatever next week. But um, this is familiar ground right here. So, an update Past 7 came out on MLB The Show, and it did not fix Stadium Creator. Okay. The time in which this video is being made is April 10th, 2025. We are about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks into Major League Baseball season. Orioles underperforming, and this right here is not fixed. So it leaves very little options for distractions and things such as that. But I do want to preface and get out the way. Congratulations to the Washington Capitals. Number 1 seed overall in the Eastern Conference and Metropolitan Division winners. So hopefully we get a second Stanley Cup title in 7 years. Hopefully that's coming. So go Caps. All right, now that that's out the way, I want to address this right here to give updates as to what's happening. So there are two sides of a story. One side is the side of your perception. The other side is the side of that person's perception. And then there's the truth. Okay. And multiple videos I have made on here. Some in full agreement. Others have been that I'm a Debbie Downer or whatever. That have said that that no one cares about this mode. Okay. That SDS does not care about this mode. That SDS has neglected this mode. And while that does seem subjectively true, it is not objectively true. And I would like to say that there comes a certain point where I have to stop being subjectively and start being objectively with sight in regards to what I want to accomplish here to get this done. But I will also say that in between the aspect of being subjectively opinionated and objectively true, that perception is the mother of reality. Okay? Now, when I made the thread in the official show forums, the official stadium era show forums, that really helped streamline communication that was not there before. Because for some reason, people in the show forums, who are longtime people who post in the show forums, create multiple threads complaining about the same thing that has been complained about on Reddit, that has been complained about on YouTube, that has been complained about on Operation Sports, and multiple other facets of communication. And it hasn't gotten us anywhere. So I'm the type of person where talk is cheap. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to go create these threads. And so far, it has been successful. We have heard from the people who are the middleman communicator between the developers and programmers at SDS and the people who are on the forums, the mods and stuff who will transfer this stuff. So just by creating that thread a couple weeks back, feels like months. So just creating this stuff a few weeks ago has led to new communication and talks to where we don't know anything per se. There's nothing in full detail, but do know that the developers are looking at this issue, the testers and whatever are looking at this issue, and it's being addressed. I have said before, my criticism of this situation is that SDS has horrible communication skills. And it should not take a person such as myself to create an official uniform error thread, or create a stadium creator error thread when there has been numerous amounts of wish lists made over the past going on 5 years now. And when there has been numerous people posting videos on YouTube, talking on Twitter, talking on X, whatever you want to call it, Reddit, and therefore, and so forth, and we still have the same issues that are here. Now, with that being said, I go through the forums, I check when I can, I have other stuff to do, but all I would like to address is, in the state of this mode, is that this mode is still broken to a certain degree. If you wish to create something, you're creating something at your own risk. Okay? You will hear people come to you as they came on my video and say, oh, well, building new ballparks is not a problem. Wrong. Building new ballparks is still a problem, because when you do create them, they do turn into other ballparks that are default and will have the astronomical glitch number of attendance, capacity, and elevations. Okay? I'm not posting this stuff to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not posting this stuff to be negative. I am posting what I am posting because it is called reality. And this will be the first video to where I will not go into, I'm better at building this stuff than other people, and we're better than this and all this stuff. That has been said, that has been done. Now it's time to move forward. Because now it's time to move forward with constructive criticism about not only the communications of SDS and how we got here, but also the communication and the criticism that should be brought upon the community that is in that forum, the official show forum. Okay? Here's the problem, number one. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, it should not come down to me making a thread to hear from anybody with the tagline of SDS in their username. Okay? So the first problem we need to address here is the very obvious, is that SDS has poor communication tactics. These are issues in which the vast majority of people, not just myself, not just me who made videos, who gets maybe 26 views at best. So obviously I'm not too big to change the mind of the masses, but I have been around the internet so far to see that this is not just my thoughts, that these are the thoughts of multiple people who are going about trying to buy this game to enjoy Stadium Creator, and they cannot enjoy it. And it has been this way since March 14th. We are eclipsing within 4 days of this video the month release. It's been a month since the early release. In 8 days, we will eclipse the full month of this full release on its original publishing date, with this mode not fixed. There has been no statement made by SDS, by Ramon, by any of these people. All you have to do is just acknowledge that there is an error and there is a mistake. They won't do that. So when you don't do that, in turn, you turn people against you, because saying nothing says a lot to people. And much like I said before, and I'll say it again, perception is the mother of reality. If I have an issue and I don't address it as a company or as a person who is an employee or employer, that is a reflection on me. That is telling me and other people that I frankly do not care about what is happening. Whether you wish to acknowledge that or not. So it's not just me with the perception of they don't care. They give attention to the card game. They give attention to Diamond Dynasty, and they don't give attention to Stadium Creator, and it's down on a low totem pole. That's not my perception. That's not my monopolized perception. That is the reality that people are coming to terms with, because USDS did not have the ability to communicate with people, to talk to the people who buy your games and buy your products. And I don't care if it's a game, it could be a lamp, it could be food, it could be something. You have to address your problems. And then, on top of that, you have to take accountability and then come with a solution. The information we have gotten to this point, from the point of me making that thread in the show form to today, has been done because of a thread being simply created to where it is streamlined and to where they can communicate, they can talk, and you can get and hear something. So the only news that has changed to this point is that they are looking into it and they are on top of it. And it is an important issue for them to address. I believe that was said by Joey or something. I'm trying to find the name. SDS Joe K. So let me check on his, see what posts he's done. He's posting on a lot of the Diamond Dynasty. Diamond Dynasty stuff. Okay. All right. So Joe K is actually the one who's communicating a lot here. So I have to give props where props are given. Joe K is communicating a lot. SDS underscore Joe K. I encourage anybody who watches my stuff. I know I've said in the past I'm not a beta tester, and I do stand by that. That I'm only going to do just as much as my capacity will allow me to before I say, hey, you need to pay me. So Joe K here from SDS is doing really great in communicating and getting stuff out and talking. So, that is something that I appreciate, that I like that he's doing. So I will take a look at that. If you give me a second, I am looking through more of this stuff. So I encourage all the people who are intelligent, because what we need to do, if you come across this video, share it with the Discord, because I got a new phone and that means now I got to log into everything and do everything. So I can't do everything. If you are part of ATG community, share this video with them. We need people in that show form if you have the time. I'm not telling you guys to do their job. All I'm saying is we need intelligent people. We have them where we got them, where we need them right now. And right now, we have the opportunity and the chance, above all, to talk to these people, to bring communication. But I will advise, and I am leading to this next talking point that will give you guys a little insight as to why I'm advising this. I will advise that if we don't get into this form from today to next Wednesday, we most likely will be running off people who are going to listen to us potentially. I'm going to tell you why. People who have watched my videos know for a certain fact how I feel about games, how I feel about SDS and all that type of stuff. So, as I have said in my time, that if I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. I will own up to it. I will take accountability. I will even so as much as take those videos down, because if those videos are producing a sort of toxic environment to the progression of talking to SDS or talking to Ramon, if my tone, if what I say is causing that, and I'm not approaching it in an intelligent point of view or structure, I will do so. I'm not above it. This is the problem that we have within this community right now. And this is what I'm going to address. I created 2 threads in the show form. That show form has been around for years and years and years. Not one time did it come across anybody to go into a single form and create a simple thread to where everything can be streamlined and everything can be posted in so that people like SDS underscore Joe K can actually read, see, process, and report. So we complain about not communicating with them not reaching out, them not speaking, and that's their fault. But then when the ball gets put into our court to actually do something, we don't do it. But I mean a lot of the great thinking people who are building accounts in this form and are posting stupid stuff to just run off people like Joe SDS underscore Joe K. Okay? All right. So I'm looking at a couple of these. 9 days ago, SDS underscore Joe K says, for what it's worth, the team is aware that this is an issue and they're investigating it. Okay. 4 days ago, a person writes this: SDS fixed this, censored. SDS Joe K says, appreciate that there's some frustration around the custom stadiums, and as I mentioned, the team here investigating. Here's a great thread that you to check out, and if you want to, add to it constructively. And he links the thread that I made. In the meantime, I'm going to close out this thread because I don't think we're heading in a productive direction as far as the discussion goes. Do appreciate the passion and engagement, though, truly. Okay. So this was 4 days ago. So there's some consistency in his posting here. They're not doing the here today, gone tomorrow type of stuff that they did prior to those threads being made. Again, I don't want a pat on the back. I don't want a statue made of me. I want this mode to be the best mode possible so it can be good for us to build and have our community back again. Okay? Because right now we're in this weird creative diaspora that we're just out here and we have nothing to go to. So Joe K says, don't let changes to the form for organization's sake give you the idea the team isn't hard at work on Stadium Creator. Nothing sneaky happening, just trying to find ways to make the form experience better. This was a thread, this was a response back to a certain person who has conspiracy theories that because they merged Uniform Creator, Uniform Errors, and Stadium Creator Errors together, that they have forsaken us. I'm going to say this, coming from a person such as myself who have made videos that were kind of conspiracy theory-ish and based upon that, I'm here to tell you, this is the prime opportunity now for you to get in there and communicate. Now's not the time to post this conspiracy theory crap. Because now what you're doing is, when you look at the thread, the two threads that I made, the one that was for Stadium Creator and the one that was for Uniform Errors, you are legitimately flooding the form. When you flood the form, you're burying my threads that I made, which I don't care that I made them. Just letting you know, don't care. But they're there. All you have to do is post constructively what you see that needs to be fixed, if you care. If you care to do it. If you share my mentality, which is, I don't really give a crap to do another person's job, that's fine. Stay away from it. Just point it in a direction so that people who will want to fall into that weird Venn diagram of stuff can go do it. These people are not doing that. What they're doing is they're creating all this stuff, okay? All these threads that don't matter. They're posting stuff that are threads that will fit into the thread that I created so it can be streamlined, so that you can constantly give it attention so that the people who need to see this stuff are going to see it. We cannot complain that no one talks to us. Then when we have somebody talk to us, then we say all the stupid stuff to make sure they don't talk to us. It's counterintuitive, it's counterfactual, and it's counteractive. We're actually getting what I have complained about. So there's no need to complain about it no more. Just do it. If it gets the mode fixed, just do it. It won't do it. So last time we talked about creation suites is 4 days ago. All right, 3 days ago. SDS Joe K. How's it going with SC? Nothing to share at this moment except to reiterate that the team is taking a close look at Stadium Creator to assess the situation. We'll keep everyone updated. He responds again. 3 days ago. Anytime, believe me. I know it's tough to feel like updates are far and few in between, but it's top of mind on this side. Rest assured. All right, so the rest are going to be, um, and this is 2 days ago. Is STS going to let us change the foul territory sizes, moving bullpens, and giving foul seats and templates? Thanks. Like I said yesterday, I know I'm sort of saying a whole lot of nothing, but I'm the type of person who would rather get a still looking into it than silence. Really do appreciate everyone's patience. And so here we go with something that which I have said in my videos, but now that I'm hearing from them, I can reel it in and actually, hey, I am somebody who's in my 30s. Maybe I could actually act like an adult. So this person writes a thread says SDS is actually incompetent or lying. So he says, okay, folks, let's try to bring the conversation back around somewhere more productive and resist the urge to resort to name calling, please and thank you. If you're still experiencing issues post-update, feel free to reach out to our support team. Okay? And all the rest of them is can't log into DD and all that type of stuff. Okay? So I'm going to go to a thread in which I replied to. And I said here, like, the problem is, I said, I legit created an official form for y'all to post in. Everything is streamlined, and y'all still want to do things the way y'all want to do them. So this is what people are doing in these forums, okay? They're flooding the forums with useless, stupid stuff that honestly does not progress anything, does not move anything. I don't understand why these people are doing it, but then again, I don't understand why most people do anything these days, all right? There's a lot of actions and no thought behind it. But a lot of these people in this forum, okay, be it for whatever reason, is basically burying the official threads that were created in order to solve the problem. And their stuff doesn't solve the problem. You don't need a thread that is literally about, are you going to fix Stadium Creator when I've already made the official thread? So this is why I said we have a very short amount of time here to get this done. I did the biggest part, which was create the thread. All you guys got to do is go in there and post it if you want to post. Okay? We have to, and I know this is going to make me cringe out, but we have to Operation Sports this. Okay? As much as I criticize Operation Sports in the past, their stuff works the way it works, and it's been working that way for 26, 27, 28 years. Okay? Plus, I've been a part of them since 2007. I love the community. Do not get me wrong. Just because I criticize does not mean I don't love. Okay? Trying to meet a goal here. The goal is to get this mode fixed. Gotta have intelligent people start coming in and talking on this forum. Because we have a lot of people who are not thinking when they post on this stuff. And because of that, that's why we have the problems that we have. Okay? So, again, much like this, we have a person, and I'm going to show an example of this. Not going to be long. I'm going to show an example of this. Okay? We're talking about fixing this mode. You have a person here called Sarge1387. All right? He says, agreed. Everything you said until you got here. Everything else is largely outlandish, nitpicky. Axe the bullpens are a simple QOL improvement. Nobody thinks they're lazy for not doing it, just frustrated that they haven't when it's something so small by comparison. This is what I have a problem with, and this is why I replied back to. We have got to stop doing this. This is the problem that we had with Madden. When a person comes out and creates a uniform error thread, somebody else comes out and says, that's not important. What's important is gameplay. That's not important. No one cares about the blade of grass. No one cares about the logos. No one cares if the stadiums are correct. So you mean to tell me you're willing to buy a $70, $80, $90, $100, $120, $300 sports game, okay, where it's officially licensed and the ballparks look like crap and they're not accurate at all. The colors are off, the uniforms are wrong, and all that stuff is bad. But you somehow think that the same criticisms that's going to make that right, which is not important, is going to make the important issues right by basically pushing my stuff down and raising your stuff up. I have something to say about this. You do not rise up by pushing other people down. Every single issue brought up with Stadium Creator is a major issue that needs to be fixed. From graphics, to bugs, to aesthetics, to assets, to everything. Everything in this mode needs to be paid attention to when the opportunity comes. And what people do in this situation is the same thing they did with Madden back in the day in forums. They would shoot other people down to raise themselves up. And all what you got at the end of that is a superstar mode that didn't last long, terrible graphics, the game didn't sell, franchise mode was stripped, modes that were taken out were put back in, and all that stuff. When you hold accountability, accountability must be a sheet. It must be a blanket that must be thrown across all of the mattress. Not one part, not another part, the whole mattress. So then I come back and I say, no, we're not doing that here. I'm tired of people like you who come into forums and dismiss things that should be in the mode or at least progressive just to put what you want in there. That's why and how Madden got the way it is. You're either with the progress of this mode or you're against it. We have to stop letting people like this destroy quality. There isn't one thing more important than the other because everything led to this point right here. Every single thing that has been neglected has led to this point right here to where we're sitting around waiting like birds trying to eat crumbs out of grass and stuff. Gotta get on the same page. So then I wrote nothing is nitpickish. See, using these dismissive terms like nitpickish, crazy, all this stuff, it's dismissive. It's subversive. It's telling them, and trust me, it's human nature to listen to things. And when you get enough people to say something that's the same enough, eventually what's going to happen is they're going to start following suit. So what the issue you have here is the following, okay? And this is the whole situation what I'm trying to get to. Nothing that we talk about in this community that needs to be in this game is minuscule. You have a mode that is a month out of census release that does not work. Now is the time to jump into the forum and start talking. And talk to where you can get them to hear. I'll deal with the stuff I say. If it comes to a point that I have to sit up here and talk about the stuff I talk about, hey, it is what it is. I'm a man, I own it. But when it comes time to actually hear and listen and speak, it's time to change that gear and start going in the right direction. And these people